Um, Test 1, 2, 3. Hello, flight simmers. Well, we are in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are in the Hype H145 Airbus helicopter. Wow, that's noisy. Let me see if I can get that down a little lower. Good. Oh yeah, that's better. Hey, how do you like this paint job? Pretty cool. And it's color coordinated with the crew in there. If you haven't seen this, this is Hype's 145 Airbus for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It is payware, you have to buy it. It's about $42. Included here is, or not included here, an additional pack is the HEMS variant. Just have to remember where all this is. I wanted to go down and open these doors for you so you can check all this out. And so cool. And let's go outside and watch these guys. This is so neat. So you got the stretcher there, so when you go to do a rescue, these guys actually have animation where they go and they go up and they bring the person back on the stretcher and you put them inside the helicopter, take them over to the hospital. It is just crazy fantastic. Ooh, look, I just loaded this paint job, so I didn't even notice this rotor disc has the paint on it, so it's more visible from the air. Like I said, this is the HEMS version, so hospital. Got a searchlight down here. It's got the winch on the side, so you can go and, matter of fact, this first thing I'm going to do is go over and do the rescue. They have these missions. Let me go back inside. Let's put all those guys away so we can take off. Put him inside. Looks like everybody's on board, ready for takeoff. I've been waiting for a great helicopter, and this is sure it. So there are missions, and they just recently came out with a new hierarchy on how missions are shown. And it's got this new mission index. I already took a demo mission. I took this Seattle Renton test hoist to hospital, and I copied it to Kansas City, and I made it so that I can go from Kilo Golf Papa Hotel over to Liberty North High School, and I can winch a victim up into the helicopter and take them just a 1-minute flight over to Liberty Hospital. This is like more cool than you can even imagine. So let's get airborne and head over there. Now, I don't have all those set up for, I don't have a cyclic and collective and all that helicopter stuff. This helicopter is so automated you can do everything with the autopilot under automation. All you really have to do is take off. So I do have a joystick with that allows me to control the anti-torque. And so let's get airborne here. Whoa, it just goes right away. So I hit the button right away, and let's see what's happening here. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. I'm giving it max power and it's descending, so. You know what? It's probably because you see that thing across the bottom of the screen? Oh, what's it show? It shows we're going down about 50 feet per minute. That program also has controls for the simulator. And I think what has happened is it has messed up the sim so it doesn't fly right. So I believe, yeah, now it's working correctly. So much for that landing. Let's try, oh, there's a nice torque. So a little anti-torque pedal to get airborne. Now the autopilot doesn't work until you're actually up in the air. So right about there you can hit this button and it'll automatically go into a hover. That's why I was saying you really don't need a collective and all that fancy stuff. You can just fly automation with your stuff. Now this is a paint job I just downloaded, a livery. And like I say, it has color coordinated uniforms for the crew. And it's got that cool screen on the, so when you come back here, it's got that really cool screen. It's got height with the search and rescue. That's all built into this livery. And it's free. So, excuse me. So I got my course in that says what I need to do. I need to fly to the accident scene, then hover until the crew is hoisted down, wait for crew operations, hoist the crew up and the patient, transport to the hospital, land on the helo pad, and wait for the crew to disembark. So let's go ahead and go up so that I can go forward. Like I said, I'm flying it on the autopilot, so we're in this hovering. So let's pick the altitude, the heading, and the indicated airspeed. It'll start going. So I'm going to take the altitude off and use my throttle and collective to climb. And it's got that really nice FMS over there. It's called I think it's a GTN 750. It's another, you can get the free add-on, or you can buy the professional model, which is better. So now we're up at a good height. I'm going to level off and accelerate. Now, even though the nose goes down to accelerate like a real helicopter, it does maintain its altitude. So max speed in this helicopter is about 150, so we're going to go up to 120. And of course we can go back and see how we're going on our route. Now we're right on not a very long flight, just down here to the high school. Now what you can do is you can go in and you can modify what they've already put in there. So all I gotta do is get Google Maps and find out what the lat long is for the points where you want to put the patient, and you'll see there's a flare so you can see better. Matter of fact, if you look out here, you can see when you know what to look for, you can see the smoke already. There's there's a fire truck there and a person to guide us down the land. All that's built into the scenario. And then when you go to the hospital, it's got its own flare, so you can see it from a few miles off. And you can move all those around. So at first I put them all on top of each other. And now you can see it a little bit better. It's orange. So I really don't need this right now. Let's go back to my autopilot. And then I am flying it with my joystick. The hat switch on top that you use for maybe the camera, you can also use it for the trim. So I've got the cyclic trim built in so that I can move the helicopter for heading and for airspeed, and then of course the throttle for the collective. And I'm just kind of on a right base in, see right there, you can see the hospital, and you can see the flare there for my landing. So let me slow down and make a turn into the school. I've flown this once before. I then went in and changed the location of everything so it looked better. I put now I did this before and learned the hard way that, guess I wasn't watching what I was doing. I am slowing down, but you can only slow down to about 30. So I basically am over the spot. I'm just kind of circling around here. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit the hover, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So there is you can see there's the patient on the ground, there's the signalman, there's the flare, and there's the fire truck, and there's my hospital right there with the smoke right beside it. So now what I want to do is, if I go back inside and I go back to I can set this target right here. The helicopter will go over the spot on its own. You don't even have to fly it. Just turn around and you can see what it's doing from up above. Now I might want to go down a little bit because you'll see as it lowers the paramedic, he will, I'm about 400 feet, so I really, there he goes. So let's look outside and you can see him go down. There he goes. So you really need to be at your altitude before you, now the helicopter is automatically moving into position. The guy is going down, and if you watch, no matter what your altitude is, it'll go all the way down to the ground. And there he is. He walked over, and now he's working on the patient. So while he's doing that, let's lower our altitude so we are at a better pickup altitude. So I'm going to take my altitude hold off and descend down to about 100 feet. This is just too cool. I love it. So up there on the altimeter, you can see the MSL altitude and you can see our altitude above the ground. So right now we are at about 100 feet. Let's look back out there. Now he's going to work on the patient, and then when they're ready, they're going to come back up into the helicopter. So let's get turned around here so we can see. You can see there's there goes the winch. So it's going to go down, and now you could also land, but this is the winch operation. So the winch went down, and now they're ready to come back up, and here he comes. So let's move back down this way so that we can see the operation. This is so cool. I can't believe they've done all this really cool automation, and got the rotor disc in the air going around, and here he comes. There it is. So there they go inside, and the winch goes by, and we're ready to go to the hospital. Now if you turn around here, you can see the co-pilot, and you can see the guys back there. And if I move over, you can see the guy laying on the stretcher with his oxygen mask on, and he's all ready. So let's turn around here. And we're ready to go. So let's hit on heading and airspeed. Now we're only going about half a mile, so we're just going to go nice and slow over there. We won't have to transition to the landing quite as crazy. Now again, remember I said you could put each component of these rescues you put on. So you put the location of the helo pad, you put the location of the flare, and I use Google Maps to figure that out. Quite the cool helicopter. This is a helicopter before Microsoft has even got helicopters as part of the simulator. So let's see, we are still going really slow. I move my flare over so that I'm going to go ahead and go into my hover. I'll show you why. So there's the helo pad right under me. You can see the smoke and everything. So what's really nice about this is you can go over and you can hit that button, and it will take the helicopter and put it right over the landing area automatically. You don't even have to do any work. I'm all for automation. Well, I said that he was going to go over there, but let's see what's going on. He doesn't appear to be, sounds like my AirPods quit. So, let me see. Let's turn around. I'm using my stick to control my yaw. Maybe I wasn't really close enough. As you can see out the window, I'm right over the hospital helo pad. So let's land at the hospital helo pad. Let me see how we're doing on. Oops, I got to come back in. Since I'm doing this all by automation, I need to. So there is the altitude hold off, and I am controlling the altitude with my collective. You can see where the helo pad is, so let's see if I can maneuver over to the helo pad. I'm using the yaw on my anti-torque pedals, and now I'm using the cyclic trim to move forward. Let's get him over there just a little bit more. The automatic hover really doesn't like you jacking with it. But the collective is holding the altitude pretty good, so let's see if I can move over without hitting the building and get into the helo pad. Now this isn't photorealistic, but it's pretty good. That is where the actual helo pad is at the hospital. So okay, so let's see if we can come down, and we're not gonna, well, let's stop and see if we can helicopter pilot ourselves over there. Since you have this kind of precision, there's no reason not to play with it and put it right where you want it. Looks like I'm going to land right on the smoke. Let's move over this way and see if we can transition. Oh, that's nice. Very nice. Oh, you're going too far. Don't do that. Okay, we're looking pretty good now. I just let it transition over. I can come down and land. All right. Ooh. I got a button on here to put the engines to idle. So now what I'm doing, oh, you're getting out. Oh, there's the guy. Isn't this cool? Yeah, it would have been nice if I didn't have him in the grass. So there he unloads, and the guy goes into the hospital. And then they load everything back in. Shut the doors. Get back in the helicopter. Shut all the doors. Mission is complete. I like that. That's pretty cute, that rock with the flare on it. So let's see if we, uh-oh. I guess I better put my engines back up to flight. It's hard to take off with it idle. Okay, so now everything's up to snuff. Let's go back up. It's best you know how to actually fly. Not really. Ugh. Do the hover, baby. Now let's get up out of here. Again, this is basically all on the autopilot, so except for that takeoff, which was pretty crummy. High. So now I've got heading, indicated airspeed, and because of my power, I'm climbing. I'm about 400 feet. I'm going to select altitude. And we'll head back to home base. Oh, the boss is home. Gotta go. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll come and do it again. So, fly safe, have fun, be careful. Again, these are 2 packages you have to purchase, but outstanding. 27 minutes. Talk to you later.